Hello and welcome back to Deck Pilot. This week we are taking Mayhem and Canfix Green-Yellow Sacrifice from this monthly cup for a spin on the ladder and see how it performs. I've already had great success with this deck already, so I hope you guys too, and I hope you guys enjoy the matches. So let's get into the games and see how I do. Alright, game number one. Going up against Eric? God, man, these names. My name's easy. It may not make too much sense, but at least it's easy. Green-Yellow Sack has been proven really great for me recently. I climbed from rank 7 to rank 3 with this list in one stream. And yeah, this version just feels so good. So I just think Mayhem and Canfix have done a great job of updating Green-Yellow Sack to our current metagame. It's no easy feat sometimes, especially when the tier 1 decks are so dominant, you know? Right, so hopefully not Crackthorn. Oh, oh wow, it's looking like a mirror. I think Green-Yellow Sack has caught on all along the ladder. To be fair, I didn't play any mirror matches when I did my initial climb. I'm thinking about sending Demon Wing up this way instead of the Demon Wrangler, just so I can challenge this. And this is great because it sets up 2 collectors. This is kind of like the dream, because you only need 1 special land to start this off. If you go on turn 2 at least. It allows you to collect 2 Faeria straight from the get-go. Can't really complain about that. We may have to play a forest and slot a desert here instead, but we'll see. And we got double neutral coming out, which is interesting. Might not be Green-Yellow Sack, then it might just be mono green if you can afford to do that. And this card is great, honestly. I'm surprised how good this card has been in this list. And I'm gonna do it now. I want to cycle and see if I can find anything else. And that sets up my Wind Soldier Desert. We have a Bone Collector, one of my favorite green cards. I love Bone Collector. If you remember my Spider-Man list, I used Bone Collector in that. You know, and it's because I'm just a big fan of the card in general. It doesn't always suit mono green, but when it gets rolling, it becomes a bit of a pain. And we have a Deepwood Stalker, so this could still be the Green-Yellow Sack. These are 2 cards that feature in that, but we'll see. Alright, let's get a forest in the wells. We'll take the Bone Collector. Move this up into a more aggressive position. Move into double collection. Maybe we can challenge the Bone Collector if we pick up the Orodrim Fanatic. Other than that, we can kind of just sit on this. Maybe double neutral next turn to Wind Soldier. We'll see what the Spider gets up to. And this is a control deck, so you do take your time when you can. You draw a lot of cards because you want to get to those Soul Eaters and be ready to play them once they reach those really high power levels with the sacrifices. So this is Green-Yellow Sack. Okay. If the Spider moves up, I'm going to be really, really happy. Because it just means I can get a power up. And it saves me playing double neutral. It means I can just build a desert here and then Wind Soldier from this spot, get the collection. Maybe move the Bone Collector up. Bloom Sprite, yeah, this is all the marks of a sack deck. And even, the building this land has actually helped me in some regards, because what I can do now is I play this land, I play the Wind Soldier first, move it across, then I move the Bone Collector up, then I clear, get the power up, I'll push this guy up. Wind Soldier can, this is better in this position. Clear on this, and then we'll set up the Village Elder to collect from this well, And we're set up pretty good from that play. The Fanatic stops a double collection from the Wind Soldier if a Wind Soldier decides to clear this because of its positioning. We're going to lose our Demon Wing, that's inevitable unfortunately. But we took out a Bone Collector, which is kind of a high value target. You don't want that card to grow out of control. And then we have the Village Elder set up for next turn to collect from this well because we know this is going to die. Going really well so far. We're collecting off 3 wells and our opponent is only collecting off 1. Spirit of Rebirth, so this is kind of looking like a carbon copy of Mayhem's Lift. Like we're probably running identical lists. I did experiment with Deathwalker over one Shaitan Assassin. Now I was very worried that Shaitan Assassin would just get run over by Emperor's Command. But I played 4 hours of this on stream and not one Shaitan Assassin got Empress commanded. Felt really good. I feel that they'll get weaker as time goes on because more players will hold on to the Empress command in anticipation for an assassin. But at the moment, they're looking pretty good. It's a bit of a poor play because it allows me to clear. Unless it's a taunt. Unless it's a taunt. And a Vision Force. Now, I didn't see if that was cost reduced. This one wasn't. I know that for sure. It's kind of sad because I want to take a draw, but I also want to develop land so I can collect off this well. Now, I can hop this over and run into this and then take the clear. The Faeria is not that relevant right now, so I'm happy to leave one collection going. Let's take a draw. Didn't find anything useful there, unfortunately. So let's have a look. I can jump here, take the clear. This dies, I get powered up. Bone Collector moves up, kills this. That applies 1 power up from a Spirit of Rebirth as well. And our opponent's going to get 1 power up and maybe just trade off at that point. I need to analyze how much value I put into this Bone Collector. And I believe the answer is a lot. I don't want to leave it open. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth these 2 trading off, but there's also Wind Soldiers and stuff like that. I think we just back out. I think we play it a little slower. This could be completely wrong, but we'll see. I just value my Bone Collector so much. This is going to be a card that can snowball into the mid and late game for me. It's just another threat that builds up over time. I don't have that Verdran Force like my opponent does on the left-hand side. So I feel like I can just spend some time, invest some cards into the Bone Collector. Alternatively, I probably just want to be able to pick up a Wind Soldier and clear that Spirit as soon as possible. This Verdran Force on the left could get out of hand very quickly if I'm not careful. Yeah, I just need to pick up more cards. The draw was quite important there. Interesting. Not good. So feels a bit vulnerable to the Bone Collector with that Village Elder. That is very handy. So I will miss a Faeria if I go for this. But it seems worth it because it just kills the Force clean. Another Bone Collector. Quite handy. we just run this in and take another draw? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we get. Oh, I missed a power up there. That wasn't very smart. Although this is safe, it means... Well, actually, I would have to throw my Fanatic at this. Which I'm not too keen on doing, if I'm honest. But now I could play Bloom Sprite and Demon Wrangler it. So the power was probably worth it. I'm going to be honest, I'm not very experienced in this matchup at all. Fine. That's not going to do much at this point. Might be handy later when I need to protect myself against a Scourge Flame. Scourge Flame, sorry, Soul Eater. There are no Scourge Flames in this deck, I promise you. I didn't just sneak one in. I did run Earthcraft. I mean, you could potentially sneak in anything with Earthcraft. So we're going to get a retreat from our opponent here. It allows us to build a forest and start moving towards the Verdant Force. Mobility tricks are just so powerful in the Sport State because they allow me to push up against creatures who feel like they're out of range, but I've already used one Fanatic and I only have one left. So if I pick up a Fanatic in the next two draws, I'm going to be pretty happy. This Bone Collector's already as big as this Bone Collector, and it's not even on board. That's a Pyrosphere Rebirth, guys. I love this card. Two of my favorite cards from green. I think that's why I clicked with this deck so much, because it's using my favorite green cards. Apart from it doesn't have Tephra, and it doesn't have Runin's Messenger, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty cool. And now this is a 4/6. Again, look how powerful mobility is in this situation. I have a choice, like, with a Fanatic, which one I want to kill. I feel like I should take a Forest and just start bullying this Verdant Force, which you got off the Bloom Sprite. Very good Bloom Sprite target there. Alternatively, I could build a Forest and then put a Vine Wall here to protect my Demon Wing, just in case there's a sack and then the Bone Collector kills it. That would be pretty sad. And this frees up a slot for my own Bone Collector. That allows me to take a draw. Well, no, it doesn't. No, I'd have to build land. What would I like to see if I was having a draw? Like, Deepwood Stalker would be really good. Wind Soldier would be really good. I know, yeah, a draw seems pretty nice to me. Assassin is very, very good. Alright, we're not taking the Faeria. We're going to go into the Assassin. Bone Collector keeps getting powered up. Yeah, and this allows Assassin to one-shot the Bone Collector, which may not seem much, but like I said, if these Bone Collectors are allowed to brew too long, they do get out of hand. There's no Last Nightmares in this list. There's no Choking Sands. Your removal are Assassins, Deepwood Stalkers, and Wind Soldiers. So the more powerful these Bone Collectors get, the better. Which probably means that Soul Eaters sooner rather than later are gonna be quite relevant. Is there no sack there? Interesting. Now, if you're using this as a blocker, you need to move the Spirit of Rebirth here, and then you need to move the Bone Collector here. You need to shimmy these guys out of the way. And that's the best thing to do. It does protect your Bone Collector more. Because right now, I could just run one of these guys into this, move over and just kill the Bone Collector. But in all honesty, if I kill a Spirit of Rebirth with the Assassin, that's pretty good as well. I don't like this land. You're giving me land to jump on. Unless there's a creature coming down. Very odd placement there. Again, this needs to be something good. It's going to be a Soul Eater. And another Soul Eater? Oh, we're going to get a Wrangler into the Wrangler. These Wranglers didn't wrangle anything. And I pick up a spider there. Okay, I kind of value the... I guess I value the power over the mobility. So let's do this first. I can spider this. Do I create a forest here and play Bone Collector? Just so... I mean, no, it just... So if I jump here, play a forest, it gets 2 power-ups. Actually doesn't power up outside of the range of Soul Eater, because he is going to gain power-ups based on these guys getting cleared, and of course this getting cleared as well. So the Bone Collector there isn't a big deal. Unless I put a Vine Wall here. Alright, let's try this out. Nice Stalker. Oh, we're gonna clear this actually. That's amazing. Alright, that worked out somehow. Oh. I was gonna move this here, but I don't think it makes much difference. A magic pointer. I think this mirror is very difficult. I feel like I'm winning, especially if this Bone Collector lives. But to be honest, if it doesn't live, I still have an assassin. He still has to clear an assassin somehow. So it may seem like a sequencing error when I went from here to here, but I only gained the power up on the spider once I made the trade. I know he gained additional power ups with the Spirit of Rebirth, but it wouldn't have happened unless I made that trade. We'll see if there's a shimmy with the Fanatic. It looks like it. Just gonna crack open the field, further power this up. It's a good little learning tool, isn't it? Like a teacher's pointer. There's another Soul Eater. So I was saying that in this matchup, getting your Soul Eaters early probably has a huge influence. And it is looking like it. But I do have that Vine Wall. I really need... I need to kill this. This Stalker clear needs to happen. Let's take a draw. Alright, now we're in business. We have our own Soul Eaters, which is an 11/11. So this needs a shimmy. I guess I can slot it in anywhere around here. Probably want this as a defender. We'll take the Faeria. We'll drop a Vine Wall here. A bit of protection. I don't know where this is good, to be honest. This kind of needs to go back. But then you can just take a value clear. I guess I use this to protect my bone. Yeah, I use this to protect my Bone Collector. This is only 11/11 at the moment. Yeah, I think I'm fine with playing Soul Eater here. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Let's play it here. This assassin should get value. Both of the assassins should get value. Unless a spider or a wind soldier's picked up. By here, it gets cleared by the 12-12, but then the spider just takes care of it, and I'm fine. That's one of them dead, and that's 1 for 1. If not, I can just zip over and kill the Verdant Force, and this will live, which I think is really good. This comes down and clears the Vine Wall. The assassin kills it if he doesn't have removal. And this has to go somewhere, right? Where can it go right now? I mean, you could trade one off and then move your Soul Eater to kill my Bone Collector to try and get value. Oh, there's a Wind Soldier. So if this comes down and clears my Vine Wall, I can just run Spirit of Rebirth in it and then trade off. But this still needs to go somewhere. Tense game. I feel like it can go out either way now. But if I draw another Soul Eater, I feel like I'm in a good situation. That's a weird place for my forest to go. What's that? Spider-Man. Kill my other Demon Stalker. So we had both the removal options. Okay. So these trade now. Oh, what a draw. Okay, so I need to run this in first. I'm probably still going to have to use my spirit, unfortunately. So yeah, I run this guy in. Then I run the Wind Soldier in, which kills this, gives me 2 power-ups. And then this gets +1/+1 because this Soul Eater died, and then I run the Spirit in. Yeah, okay. Let's get the Wind Soldier out of my hand, because I want the Bloom Strike to be powered up. Well, actually, no. I don't. I get powered up one out of reach. I just didn't calculate that. That's actually super relevant. So I didn't need that land. But I'll take it. I mean, if these trade, I'm not in a bad situation. So I kind of in a spot now where I want to. So let's play this as a defender. Let's move this up in case this gets cleared. So I'm in a spot now where I need to draw my Soul Eater. If he draws another Soul Eater, I've probably lost. So I just need to start drawing cards every turn now and just get my Soul Eaters down and try and win. Because when this dies, which it will, because if you can't leave this up, this is going to deal 16 damage next turn. Yeah, I should have calculated that extra kill off the Wind Soldier. Luckily, I didn't put my Spirit Rebirth in first. That would have been embarrassing. I mean, I did miscalculate, but it didn't end up being that bad. Oh, he's thinking. You have to build land as well if you want to kill the Soul Eater. Demon Wrangler. Oh my goodness. 16 damage going to the orb. We're drawing. We wanna pick up the Soul Eater. Hello. Isn't that a satisfying sound? now we're gonna just create a wall of creatures around my orb. So Verdant Force, if it wants to kill the 16-1, has to build land again. And of course, there is also gonna need a blocker for the 16-16. If you play a Shaitan Assassin in a situation, my 2 spiders answer it, which is really good. And that draw doesn't allow a clear on the 16-1. I think this is game, guys. I think this is my first sack mirror in months. I can't remember the last time I played a green earth sack mirror, and it was intense. Like I didn't really understand what I needed to prioritize. Okay, so he has to clear on my 16-1. So he didn't need the land. But again, if Assassin comes down, these 2 spiders are going to deal with it pretty easily. I don't see the out. If you have an Assassin, you probably need to desert here and sack this and just have it there. It's much harder for me to clear that way. Well, an Elder, funnily enough, a Village Elder does do it. It does block me for a turn. So I need mobility or removal at this point. So a turn of Breathing Room has been granted. I'm going to collect the Faeria and move the Vidran Force down. Interesting. And there's the lethal. GG's, my friend. Right off the top there. 17 damage to the orb. Well played there. That was a tough match. Like I said, I don't know what I really prioritize in that mirror match specifically. I'm not sure if, you know, protecting my Bone Collector was the play. It was very awkward when we got to this region, for both of us, I feel. But if you guys have matchup experience, matchup knowledge in this mirror, and want to share any tips with me, shed any light on that matchup in general, be sure to leave a comment below. I'd be happy to hear what you guys have to say. For our second match, we're going to be going up against Holy Lotus. I've played Holy Lotus a lot on ladder recently, but I can't remember for the life of me of what he was playing. It may be blue-red. There's a lake. I think it's blue-red. I've got a feeling. It's a good opener. Allows for a Bone Collector and a Village Elder, but I probably want to go Desert next turn. So there's no point in playing the Village Elder yet. Might be just blue jump. I'm not sure, we'll see. Might be Dream Reaver. Dream Reaver's now picked up in popularity since Mayhem's victory. Yep, late and neutral. Wow, that is just a normal Triton Sanctuary. That is not from Spellwheel. That's a proper Triton Sanctuary right there. Alright, so now we can take the Desert and we'll take the Village Elder. It's going to slot into this position for us next turn. It's going to be pretty difficult for me to clear this without a Wind Soldier. So he's probably going to get a lot of value off this card. And this prairie is fallen into the ocean. Oh, I hate life right now. That's just maximum sadness. Nothing feels good when Bone Collector gets killed early. Alright, we're gonna Sniperino here. No, I guess we just pass. So we've already been opened up aggressively with that lake. There's a Triton Sanctuary. That has a 2 Fairy advantage right now. And there's a Spellwheel. That's where Triton Sanctuary should have came from. Mythic Beast would be pretty sad right now. But I do have an Assassin. So as long as Emperor's Command doesn't show up, I'll be in a pretty decent position. Mochi. Okay, so this is more than likely going to be some form of Dream Reaper variation, which is fine. I'll take a Desert. I'm assuming this guy up because I want this to challenge this. Take clear. Slot in over here to move on to these lakes. We'll take another village elder as well to replace this one once it clears out this prophet. Now we might see a retreat come from Holy Lotus here. Dream Reaper is going to be pretty tough. A 7-10 is not easy to deal with. I need an assassin set up in advance and hope it doesn't get commanded or falcon dived or whatever. Oh, there's going to be a phantasm. Nice little reaction there. Double assassin. That works out very nicely. Let's assassin this first because we want to draw a card. Bloom Sprite. Might as well assassin this, to be honest. Let me take a draw. Try and get to those Soul Eaters as quickly as possible. In case for some reason this gets cleared, Emperor's Command being the main culprit. This might be the first time I've been Emperor's Commanded using this deck on ladder. Let's see if any of these assassins live. Blue is one of the primary culprits to run that. Blue and yellow. Yellow temple, blue jump. Those cards, but this could be it. This could be the moment in which I finally lose an assassin. Don't do it. The Emperor doesn't care. The Emperor likes assassins. He's not a nice guy. I'm sure Shaitan Assassin Emperor could make a deal. Ah, here it comes. It's a Frogify. Oh, right, I can deal with Frogify. Frogify's fine. Because Frogify means my Bloom Sprite collects and I can just win soldier this. This might be a beast, yeah. Mystic Beast. That's the sound I want to hear, especially after a Frogify. Alright, let's build a forest. We'll take the Wind Soldier. We'll clear this guy out. I'm thinking I might just play a Fanatic. But then again, like, Fanatic's really good at moving the Soul Eater around. But I feel just having, like, presence here might force him to crack the Sanctuary early. And I do cover a lake. So I might I mean, this could be left forever, really. This could potentially finish the Sanctuary now instead of another turn of collecting. He's gonna want to double collect, right? He's gonna crack it. There you go. 15 Faeria. That was a 7 Faeria advantage right there. So I wouldn't have been able to chase this with a Fanatic anyway. It would have had a frog blocking it. But we get to play Soul Eater. Wow, another Soul Eater. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, let's just drop a Soul Eater right next to his orb. Need a desert. Kill. Kill. 2-10 lead ball. There. And if this gets answered somehow, I have another one. Which is all good. 15 Faeria is great, but if you don't have a transform effect, Blue, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. We've already seen a Phantasm, we've already seen a Frogify. And I like the little hand shuffle there. I don't have a Frogify right now. What am I going to do? And when the second Soul Eater comes down, oh boy. This could be Phantasm. I actually don't mind Phantasm that much, because then I can just trade off, double collect, play second Soul Eater. Basically, if this doesn't get transformed now, I've probably won, because the second Soul Eater demands 2 transform effects. Now, this just looks like Blue Jump. I thought it might have been Dream Reaver at the start. But now it's looking more like Blue Jump. Gonna kill my Bloom Sprite? Okay. Aurora say. I bet that was off spell wheel. 100% that was off spell wheel. That is massively disappointing. Yeah, that has upset me quite a lot. If you watch my stream, you'll know how much I dislike spell wheel. I can't believe that. 2 taunts and a Faeria. His free one turned into a Faeria Golem. Like if this was a traditional Aurora say that you put in your deck, then fine. But yeah. We're just going in. I plan to punch 10 to the orb next turn, one way or another. It is going to happen. I'm just going to race Aurora say at this point. I don't know. I'm just a bit sad. I felt like I played the best I could in that situation, and then I get Aurora Sage from a spell wheel. I'm like 99% sure that isn't from the deck. That is from spell wheel. So what else do I have to deal with? Now if a Frog of Fire is drawn, that's even worse. So the taunt can come round and kind of just set up there for this Colossus. Yep. It's 1 damage off lethal right now. Ninja Toe can do it though. So I just play blockers at this point. I can move here, take care of the Kingsguard, push for 10. This means that Faeria Golem will kill this. Now alternatively, I could hit this and then hit the Faeria Golem, which might be a little better actually, but the taunt still comes here. If this gets frogified, that means I can't finish him off next turn because I'll be taunted. If I clear the taunt and then hit, I think it gives me the best chance of winning. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see if this is correct or not. The sad thing is, like, Frogify still ruins me. Like, that doesn't change. I should have drawn first. Spider-Man. Not going to be too handy here. We're just going to play this to block. And then I guess we pass and hope for the best. I guess I could just play Bone Collector here to collect. Now, Karma would be great here. You get Aurora Say off spell wheel, but don't draw Frogify. I'd be pleased with that. So if I had that is a beautiful sign, but not right now. Yeah, that's gonna be game. Alright, so we'll go on to our next match and see how that one goes. Last match, going up against Jungwoo. I've dusted all the salt from my clothes. It's fine, guys. I was pretty salty about that Aurora say. Especially the taunts. If it wasn't taunt, I probably wouldn't have felt so bad, but yeah. It did upset me. But we're in a new game. Jungwoo always creates these really interesting and fascinating decks. Also the highest level Faeria player in the game, I believe. I don't think there's anyone higher than him. And we're going against what looks like to be red. Now, the thing with Jungwoo is you can't just look at his deck from his color selection. He could be playing anything right now. This could be Free Wishes. This could be Bargain. This could be... It could be anything. There's a lake, okay, and there's a Baron, so it is a form of bargain control. That's fair. And that's one of the wonderful things about Jungwoo. He is not afraid to try out all these crazy decks. He does all the crazy testing for us. You can find quite a lot of his decks on the hub as well, so be sure to go over there and take a look at some of his lists. Very creative player. Now this doesn't benefit us, so I don't want to crack it, if I'm completely honest. I'm gonna chuck a Bone Collector here, just in case a Ground Shaker comes down and gets some value. We're just gonna go up the opposite side. Because when this land comes down and the Baron moves closer, I'll just shimmy back out of the way. Now, this guy's pretty safe by here. Especially in Bargain. Like, Bargain doesn't run like Horse Masters. So I should be okay just collecting off this well for another turn. Alright, we'll just chill with the Spirit of Rebirth. Almost at the land requirement for Soul Eater, but not a lot has died. Well, nothing has died yet. But I do have 2 sacrifices. We're going to need a bit more than that. Maybe get some Wranglers go and more Wranglers. Actually, no, I tell a lie. One thing has died. The Village Elder, of course. Well, Garadan's going to change all that. It's fine. My Soul Eaters are going to be nice and big. A bit of power distribution between these guys. Cannot complain. Alright, I want to draw. I think I want to draw more than I want to sack a Bloom Sprite right now. And that is the sound I want to hear. Okay. We're 1 land away from it as well. We can get that done quite early. Garadan is going in. Well, it's a bold bargainer. So could expect to see a Hellfire in the near future. That is for sure. I don't know if I even want to commit Soul Eater just yet. I don't know. Maybe I can force this Garadan to retreat. Let's try it. You can always do this as well. Create another Assassin. Grove Guardian's pretty tidy. We'll play this. We'll play the Soul Eater. Now, the reason I've played a lot of cards is to flood the board out, to make sure the Hellfires are less consistent. Hellfire's probably my biggest fear right now for the Assassins, but they do have 2 life. They're quite sturdy with those power-ups from the Spirit of Rebirth. I am baiting Garadan away from me. Gives me a bit of time, which I can appreciate. Firestorm? Ground Shaker. Ground Shaker? Oh, Ground Shaker Firestorm, very nice. So now I just keep drawing cards. Want to pick up another Soul Eater? But none is found. Alright, let's move the Grove Guard into a more defensive position in case we need to clear this Ball Bargainer out. Just gonna push some orb damage. This Baron isn't getting cleared, which is in my favor. But I don't want the Baron to get cleared. Could be an aggressive land into, say, like an Ice Rock Behemoth if it got reduced. Another Ground Shaker. And a Fairy. Fairies are not that good, unfortunately. Spider. I got 2 spiders. Let me play the Fairy. Oh, I need to play land, unfortunately. We do need to clear some of this stuff. This is more of a threat right now. So I will do that. I'll set up a Fairy to collect. No, we'll pass. I can take 3 damage. So I think Hellfire could come down now and that could ruin my day. Mountain. Bold Bargainer, Hellfire. All the Ground Shakers, all of them. Oh man. Ah, oh, that's so sad. And I'm just getting overrun. My first Soul Eater being answered was pretty unfortunate. I mean, I can make a play to survive, but it's not doing me much good. Bargain decks can do pretty good against Soul Eaters, because the thing is, Soul Eater's win condition is much slower, but against like a mid-range deck or a rush deck, you're just trying to hold them off, and the smaller creatures are more relevant because you can play them early, they're cheap, they can deal with these small, your opponent's smaller creatures, but when it comes to Bargain, they just play a lot of beefy creatures, which are much harder to deal with because they have damage as well. So the Shaitan Assassins are not very good threats against them because, as you can see, like Garadan had a good clear there, and the Firestorm. So it's very difficult to beat this style of deck with Green Yellow Sack. So it will become probably one of your harder matchups. But yeah, we'll give a well play to Jungwoo, and then we'll just call it quits there. So Jungwoo repping the creative decks there with his blue-red bar control. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an Ice Rock Behemoth in that list, but well played. That wraps up this episode of Deck Pilot. I hope you enjoyed it, and you got to see me being salty. I do get salty from time to time, and blue is usually the color that does it to me. That's why I don't generally play it that much. I did like the Rubyfish deck, don't get me wrong, but green and yellow are probably 2 of my favorite colors anyway, so it's nice to see Green Yellow Sack, the combination of the 2 coming back into this metagame. So I'm excited to see how this performs over the next coming weeks. If you do like this video, drop it a thumbs up with that like button, and of course, if you haven't already, drop a subscribe to get updates of when we post more content, be it Deck Doctor, Deck Pilot, Card Spotlight, Aquablad versus the World Bosses, and of course the monthly cup VODs. If you'd like to find out more information about Faeria, or you'd like to find some guides and decks and stuff like that, head over to the hub, faeria.com/the-hub, for all the community's guides, decks, and articles. Until next time, guys, take care, have a great day.